All right. What up, everyone? Whoop, look who it is. The mighty Sid. Guys, you got, if there's the picture of suffering in this whole scenario, it's Sid. Can you imagine Sid not?
I haven't been able to hug people.
That's exactly what I was going to say. She has not been able to hug anybody for days.
It's awful.
Oh, it's true. All right. Well, we will stay responsibly spaced out. Hope everybody is doing great. I have arranged for the next week of weather to be pretty nice, so I hope you appreciate that.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, there is a little bit of rain, so it's a little bit yucky out there today. One second, let me turn this down a bit. I do want to say a couple of things. First of all, we've got a pretty doggone big studio here. So I can't tell you that it is not crossing my mind that I think that there are some responsible ways to perhaps have some non-contact type of classes. Bags, bob work, and so forth. We have been always super diligent. I come from a wrestling background, so, wrestling mats are, back in the MRSA days and all these types of things. So I've grown up since I was a teenager, always cleaning mats. So that's something that's all, and the surface areas around. So I think we've been pretty doggone good. And I think that if we have some responsible people, that we may be able to have some classes in the 6, 7, 8, maybe even 8 people range, just all spread out. So I would like some feedback on that. Obviously, what we're going to train you to do is how to beat up bags and bobs. So in the future, if you are ever attacked by a bob, you are going to know what the hell to do. No, but listen, bag and bob work and movement work and what's been funny is about a week ago, I was thinking as you transition, Krav into, hey, look, for a season of time, no contact, you are literally looking at the word that we have always, I don't want to say made fun of, but we've kind of avoided, and that's the word kata, K-A-T-A, which is in martial arts. That is what you see, and what a lot of people don't like about traditional martial arts. They say, I want to do this. I want to be involved. I want to feel the impact. I don't want to just sit there and go through the motions. But listen, we got to do what we got to do. And let me tell you something. Your mind, your reticular activating system, I believe that's the phrase, doesn't know your imagination from reality. When you are planting those ideas, and I know this from many, many years of wrestling, you just sit there at night, you're thinking and going through a match, and you wake up and your heart is beating just as hard as it would if you were in a real match. You're sweating, you're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy that imagining something and going through it in your mind can create a physical effect, and certainly the long-term just the reflex and memory and things like that. So that said, give us some feedback. Also, I want you to know we have gear here. The gear is lonely. I came in today and several of these mats were on the ground crying, saying it's Saturday morning. Where is everybody? So listen, in fact, it's a little bit after 10 o'clock right now. I'm going to be here for the next several hours. If you would like to borrow some gear and take it home for this season of time, that is perfectly fine. We have gloves. Yes, you just spray the heck out of them. That's what we do here anyway. We've got bottles of 99.99%, just spray it and get that stuff dealt with. Take it home. We have kick shields. We have punch shields and things like that. So for you or your kids, we have noodles, we have chairs and trash cans, no, whatever. Whatever
What about the lifesavers?
whatever you need. Oh, no, the lifesavers stay.
Damn.
Dang it. But anyway, so, all right, we are going to get started here. Just to give you, again, we're in the world of our imagination. Shoulders back and
Keep out.
Really, really appreciate all the comments and the continued support. We should get into the physical, but my wife doesn't necessarily want me to kind of broach this subject. But you know, the truth of the matter is, and if you've gone to a women's seminar or something along those lines, I always tell the story about why I got involved in Krav. That, you know, and it's totally true. We were adopting some kids, and we had all of our kids at home, and then it was dragging on. So we're like, what should we do? Let's do some of these Krav Maga classes. But one of the key reasons, if you remember at that time, it was in that 2009, all that, the crazy, a couple of years right after that. And one of the things that really stuck in my mind at that time, after going through the 2008, 2009, all that kind of crisis, is that things can change just like that. We live in a very, very safe area. For many, many people, it's crazy to think of going out there and having, someone, and really, really thinking that someone could attack me today. Someone could try to steal my groceries. Somebody could try to get my money and things like that. And of course, right now, they're like, wow, they're starting to see a bit more of the reality about that, is that, someone who doesn't have an income right now, and someone who maybe they have kids. Maybe they're actually a pretty decent person, but all of a sudden they are super duper scared. Man, they are just freaking out. Well, what am I going to do for my kids? And you ask yourself the question, what would you be willing to do for your kids? And that's not even counting the people that are actually crazy and are simply just entitled, and they think, look, if you got it, I want it, then I'm going to take it. And literally, going back into those years, that was one of the reasons that I wanted to do Krav Maga. I wanted to be prepared. So yes, this is physical combat, and you need to know how to do it. You need to believe in the Second Amendment as far as I'm concerned. That is your choice, but I also believe that everybody should be well versed in firearms. I believe you should have a firearm. You stop having that American mentality. Stop having that Research Triangle, Cary, North Carolina, Apex, mentality. Think about what's going on in the rest of the world. The rest of the world is not immune to these things, and neither are you. So you've got to be prepared. Then I think these things always catch people like the people that live around here. It catches them unaware. So anyway, start preparing, start thinking. Don't be scared. We're not scared. We're just simply prepared. So this is what you need to learn. This needs to be your physical activity. And this is your tribe. This is your community. We are here for you. Please let us know of any needs that you have, and so that we can kind of stand with you. And certainly anything that we can do to help, we will. All right, so shoulders back and keep down. What?
We already did that.
We already did that. What's going on in my mind? Okay, so we're just going to start just with some nice, easy shadow boxing. So once again, I'm just kind of being light on my feet right here. Just going to be moving forward and backward, a little north, south, east, west. Notice that my shoulders always stay above my hips. Move here and move here. When I say go, I'm just going to throw a little 1, 2, and go. Go. Notice that you'll always see me kind of advancing, but I'm definitely getting that rotation in, keeping hands up. Check yourself. When you throw the other one, is the other one dropping really low? Try not. Are you leaning? Are you way forward? Are you nose over toes? Hopefully not. Go. 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 Let's add a knee to that. Go. to a 2, 1, 2, and then a knee. Ready? Go. Rest, 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 rest. Go. Rest, 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 rest. Go. Rest, 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 rest. Good. Let's add a step pivot. So when we say step pivot, I don't know if the thing is showing the line here, maybe this line right here. But the idea about pivoting is simply that I am getting off of line. If somebody had a kick coming right at me, the best choice is not to do all of this right here. It's simply, whoa, to get off line, to move back, to be out of the way, to create space. Once I throw some strikes, I want to get away from the red zone here. I want to get away and get outside the elbows so I can be in the green zone again. All right, so the simple foot movement is, of course, I could just pivot. That's putting all my weight on one foot and then the other one moving around, versus anything that looks like a, not a protractor, a compass. Yeah, you know how a compass goes here. The weight is kind of even between them. No, I need to very briefly have all my weight on that one so that this leg can move back as quickly as possible. To really make some space, I need to step first, and that will help this get a lot more circumference. Whoa, and get further away, okay? So I'm gonna throw that 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2 knee, and then I'm imagining that this guy is freaking out and he's driving in to try to tackle me. I'm gonna step and pivot, and I'm letting this arm stop and the guard up here keep him at bay. It's gonna look like this, nice and slow. 2, 1, 2, knee. Oh boy, here he comes. Boom, good. Ready, let's do that a little faster, about 75.3%. Go. Good. Sorry, I think I went about 79%.
Yeah, you did. I mean,
Yeah.
really, what were your percentages,
Yeah.
Aaron?
Go. Rest, yes. Good. And go. Rest. Good. Remember, this is a structure. This is not, I'm not required to touch them. I don't have to keep stretching till I touch them.
So distancing, y'all.
Yeah, do not touch them, and definitely don't touch their face. Sorry, just tackle me. I'm not going to touch your face. Okay, good. Ready? Go. Rest. Woo, good. This is a structure. It's very solid. Nobody's getting past this. Go. Rest. Woo, good. And again, go. Rest. Good. All right. So the last time we spent a little bit of time talking about hooks. Remember, these straight punches, if you took videos of the average dude or dudess fighting in the street, it's hard to tell sometimes what they're doing. They're like, you know, they know the target's here, but generally it's some kind of lob, you know, throwing the strike. There's a reason for throwing a straight. One good reason is just this right here. Even when you look at this, what do you see? You hopefully my angle's right, but you don't see the whole arm. You only see this target right here. That's why, like really good boxers, sometimes their jabs, boom, can be so good, because this is a very small silhouette is the term. In other words, if I go like this, you see all of this. And if I come around here, you definitely see all of this coming, and you're able to respond. So a good straight keeps the elbow in, the pinky down, and drives straight away. So one of the ways you could do that is you could literally do this right next to a wall. I don't know if you may not be able to see it, but if I practice throwing my right here, but the average person, it would look like this. I'll stop with the noise. Ow! Ow! Because literally what they do is they go like this. Like that. Now, that creates not only the silhouette that they can respond to, but sometimes even if they have a hand here and the straight doesn't go straight, it hits this on the way and gets mitigated, right? So I really want to get, send this right down the pipe. If I had a 6-inch pipe in front of me, could I, maybe 6, 7, 8 inches, I don't know, whatever, but could I drive through that pipe and bring it back without hitting the edges, or at least not any major way? That's what I'm looking to do on a straight. Good. So let's even though we just threw some in warm up, let's throw a couple of those. Keep that elbow down. Let it go straight down the pipe, A to B, and then back to A again. Ready? Go. 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 You also notice that if I don't get the elbow up, I'm probably not creating the fist emoji. I don't do that. When your fist gets like this, it's because, it should be anyway, that is driven through the target and then turned over as I'm driving through the target rather than as I get there. Now, that may actually seem like something that you, well, look, I've seen a lot of fights, you know, where somebody's throwing a strike like this. And yes, as you get better and better, you could get your arm way out there and you still have a lot of connected energy here. It's still connected here. But in the early days, if it's a straight, just keep it to be a straight. All right, let's throw a couple of rights. If you do have the chance, get next to a wall. You're throwing a right punch. Ready, go. Is your hip, shoulder, and weapon, are they all towards the target? Go. I have rotated on the ball of that foot, my shoulder's there. This is literally an exaggeration of how much I will rotate, but for drilling purposes, this is what we want. Good. Let's try the left. Ready, go. Definitely need that hip to drive forward. Otherwise, it's just a shoulder punch. It's not going to be very strong. I need to drive and let my body rotate into it. Got to snap it through. Ready, go. 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 Good. All right, let's go back to the idea of the hook. So as we said, straights are about rotating and driving the strike forward. A hook, on the other hand, is about transferring the weight left to right. The hips turning, spine nice and straight, and creating the impact and the power that way. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and start in some kind of chambered position. It'll make it a little bit easier. Like, for instance, if I just threw a big right, and now my shoulders are turned, I'm chambered for this hook right here. All I'm going to do is not swing my hook. I'm just going to create this structure for now. In fact, let's get out of our fighting stance and go to a neutral stance. My feet are literally equal distance from my shoulders. Each one is right under my shoulders here. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of chamber this up, get on the ball of the foot, turn that knee inward right here. I'm going to create this structure. Structure is pinky down, coffee cup. Okay, coffee cup here, parallel to the ground. I'm just going to create that structure and then allow my weight to transfer and my hips to turn all the way over. Right now, I don't care if you just take your eyes with you, okay? From there, my recoil on this is simply to drop it here. Then I'm going to create the structure here and loose. Good. So you're going to feel a real whip here. This is all, nothing is happening because of this. It's all happening because of this. My hips transfer the weight from one side to the other one. You should feel this little sweet spot when you get about right here, when that hip just punches in there. Avoid the temptation to throw the punch. I don't want to see this. I'm literally, my arm is not moving from this position here. I'm just transferring my weight. Down, create the structure. Good, now let's do some and try to keep your eyes forward. My knee is pointed in that direction. It's pointed in that direction. Good. So this is why working on this 2 and then 3 strike combo of something that's all about rotation and then something that is about the transfer of weight left to right. It's pretty unique. It takes time to work it, okay? So we're gonna throw this 2-3 strike combo. In reality, you're throwing a 2. Whoa, hopefully there's a good punch to the face. You get through, and then hands come up, and now there's no guard on the side, it's all in the front. So another straight would not be useful. You wanna go around. Boom, and that's what you're doing. I'm going around the target, driving through, and then recoiling. Good, so we're gonna throw this 2-3 combo. Now, if you're level 2, level 3 student, and you've been doing this for quite some time, then you need to start switching stances. Make it here, make this the number 3 hook. Make this the hook, and this the straight. Or, before you do it, throw something else. Boom, you throw a right kick, an inside leg kick, and then the combo, okay? But if you're just learning, you're throwing this straight punch, then a left, okay? So let's do it, on my go. So remember, higher level people, you're throwing something before, and maybe making some movement or a strike afterwards. Ready? Go. 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 Hopefully you feel the difference between these two. Here's what a hook looks like when somebody does the body mechanics of a straight. You see it. You see the power going like towards the target. Remember, it's not that. It's rotating around. The transfer of weight left to right. I'm not just rotating and throwing the same straight, but putting my arm like that. That's not very powerful, okay? All right, here we go again. Ready, go. Go. Like I said, why don't we add something at the end? It could be a knee, it could be a stomp, something with that back leg. Ready, go. And of course, I'm always making space to move afterward. Go. Go. Is it important to make noise? Yes, it is. Not that noise, but remember, I want my body to relax. But I want my body to tense up when it needs to. When does it need to? At the moment of impact, okay? That's why you hear old Japanese movies. Hi-ya! They're tensing up at the right time. Good. Again, right, straight, left hook, straight hook combo with something at the end. Ready, go. Good. Go. Good. Let's switch that up. Now, let's throw a number 1. That's a jab, right? 1. And now, I'm going to transfer my weight from my right to my left with a right hook, okay? Now, the standard coffee cup transfer, this will not be as popular as later on when we learn how to really drive that thing forward while keeping our balance. They call it the big overhand right. The big knockout power. Boom, okay? So but we're gonna learn it from the beginning, just like the left one. I'm gonna create the structure. I'm chambered for now because I just threw this strike here. My shoulder and hip are slightly down. And then from here, I'm gonna throw that right hook. Ready, go. Good. Remember, it's not a big swing. It's just simply about transferring that weight. In this case, my right to my left because I'm right-handed. Good. Now, for those of you who are a little more experienced, you can throw this, or if I threw this, I can make this an overhand right by simply stepping maybe towards the target, maybe slightly to the outside of the target, and instead of the coffee cup and parallel to the ground, I let this thing go skyward like a meteor going to the ground. Boom. I create a big oval that comes back to my opposite side pocket. I don't really worry about keeping this angle here. I let this thing go up and then downward. I have my strike going downward, which is like this, but that would not be enough. I don't want the shoulder to stay here. I want everything to rotate around. Everything to carry my full body weight. Boom, driving in there. Notice that I've stepped, because if I don't step, I am really getting nose over toes, and if I miss, they make a slight move to their left or right. Either way, I could be off balance. So I take a step. Notice that puts my shoulder, at least one shoulder, still over a knee, and I've got pretty good balance. So from this side here, remember this is a jab and a right hook from a right-handed person's stance, right? Boom, boom. But you see, if this structure here, this lands here, where the jab drove through and landed this way. So as you can see, I have the potential to pull this short. So this 1-4 combo is not hugely common. It's not usually common because the target is not right there. I generally have to go after this target here. Okay. So either one of these are good. I'm throwing the jab, then I'm going to take a slight step. Right now, I'm just going to leave this back foot staying on the ball of the foot. I'm going to step forward, and let this and take it up here, and then just drive around in a big oval that's coming past my opposite side pocket. Notice that I am turning this into, rather than striking with these two knuckles here, I'm actually turning it into what's called the mouth of hand, here, boom, this part right here. The reason I want to do that is because I'm going to throw this thing with everything that I've got and go as deep as possible. So it is possible that I don't strike with this. It ends up being this right here, because they just went like this and I ended up hitting them right here. I want that to still be very impactful. And if I have this side here turned in, that's all bone. Versus if I do anything that looks like this, first of all, that's a very, very bad structure for me. I'm going to get hurt. And if I hit them with this part right here, it's not even going to affect them. It's literally the inside of the forearm. I want all of this, anything here. If you're familiar with the UFC, this is the big Roy Nelson, big country overhand right. Remember, it's not just the arm. If this hand gets lower than this shoulder, you've left power back, right? I want, boom, drive it down at least as I drive through the target. Boom. Keeping that other hand up, it's a step and going here. All right, so what are we looking at? Jab. Jab, boom. I'm keeping them busy with this one. Boom. Big step, overhand right. Shoulder, everything's into this thing. This is a high commitment strike, no doubt about it. Ready? And go. 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 Good, and time. Excellent. Good. Really work on that, and we will review and cover that some more. All right. So yesterday was Friday, but on Thursday we were reviewing strikes to an opponent from behind. So we kind of want to review those. So I'm going to we'll do both of them. So you can actually, let me turn this guy this way a little bit.
Enough? More?
Yeah, good. Let me just make sure that you guys are able to see everything that's going on. Excellent. I think we could actually zoom some of this in. All right. So again, the last time we were talking about before this guy gets here, he was here, and before he was here, he was here, and before he was here, he was here, and before he was here, he was in his mother's womb. That's when we want to deal with him. No. Okay. I can't deal with that. Go for that far back. But listen, the moment that something is happening, one I have to create structure. So one of the most important techniques or moves that we teach in level 1 is what we call kind of clearing the hip, turning into the strike. So something is going on behind me. I'm about to get grabbed. I'm about to be punched. Something along those lines. And I need to turn in. The standard, if you can see my feet, would be to create a big circle. Like if there's a pin attached to my foot, when I turn, I just drew a big circle. The problem with that is that creates energy. It also takes time. And people get around behind, and that's why you see, even from the playground when you're 7 years old, when they, the idea of just flinging somebody around. And of course with girls, it's grabbing the hair, and they go around. I don't want that. I want to keep everything linear in this case. So I'm going to step, and I'm going to pivot, but I did not create a circle. I was here, whoop, and now I'm literally facing that other way instantaneously, practically. Okay? Now what that does is does not give the attacker time to kind of come around. Now, so this is the standard as far as the foot movement. Step, hands are certainly coming up. This is an attack. And the back hip collapses. Whoop. It just collapses. I'm up on the ball of my feet, doing my little twister move. Knees are going this way, knees are going that way. Now, potentially, I'm right in front of this attacker, right? So immediately there's going to be taking the leg that is now the front and bringing it back again in a line. So if you saw me do this here, the attacker's behind. Everything just happened along that line. Okay, get off of me! Here. Now, I want you to think of what we refer to as the hierarchy of space, right? That means the further away that I can be, the better. If I can go from touching to 6 feet away, social distancing.
6 feet, y'all.
6 feet?
Not 6 feet.
Get away from me.
Stay away, Aaron.
I will do that, okay? Now, if they are still there, potentially this could happen. Boom, I come down and immediately, did you see how this came in at an angle, this diagonal angle here into what we refer to as the seat belt. If he's that close, then this is what I want. Driving that elbow to stop him. And then I will try to create space by stepping back. And if he's still on here, it's not because I was continuing to push him, it's because he kept driving in. Remember, the seat belt is a structure, not an attachment. I must hold them back. No, it's a structure for me. And I'll move away as far as I can. If there's a little more space, perhaps instead of just a structure here, this becomes an attack. So, again, stepping, turning, and okay, this is what we refer to as a clearing strike. I don't know what's back there. I don't know where he's going to be. Maybe his head's here. Maybe he's trying to drive in and tackle. I don't know, but I'm just throwing this diagonally with the elbow. And if there's nothing to hit for the elbow, I'll use this hammer fist and drive it down as well. So you see what's going on. So an attacker is coming up from behind. Here, I am being preempted. Oh my gosh, I feel this. I'm creating space. My hips are driving away. My arms are up, not allowing him to lock around. And as I turn, as I pivot, boom, trying to create space. Good. So let's just kind of do this. You can slightly turn to the side, and I'm going to be the attacker. So here's what you are imagining me doing. This right here. Good. So when you see me do this, you are like, whoa, boom. Remember this structure from before. That hands are going to come up here. One's going to be give me a large margin of success to at least catch it, which I can adjust here depending upon where their arm is going. Here, whoa, here. The other one's coming up here to control. The other day we worked our right side, so why don't we just stick with this? So here comes this attack. It's going to be like, whoa, here. And if I have control of their arm, then I'll do that here. But this one stopped them from grabbing around. And I can still, boom, and just create some space. All right? Here comes this attack. If you could be facing that direction there and just kind of going on my cue. Hey, lady, come here. Hey, put him enough. Reset. You sense it. What's going on here? Oh my gosh, somebody's coming in. Boom. Now I'm this guy. I'm the attackee. Here he comes. Whoa! Get back to me. Get out of here. Ready. Go. Good. Excellent. Go. Good. So remember, when I turn, this could be a seat belt. This could be an elbow. This could be a hammer fist, driving right down in there, catching whatever I can on the way out. All right. So we had mentioned that an attack from behind, it doesn't always happen like this. I just kind of snuck on. Sometimes it started here, and it was, hey, and it ends up kind of like this. Once again, what is the main threat in this early stage is the hands getting attached. All right. So we said oftentimes this attack comes right here. Okay. So let's kind of review this. This will be certainly a review for any level 2 students. But if you're level 1, when this attack comes on like this, we always say you got to deal with the most important threat first. What's the most important threat? Tell him, Bob. He can't breathe. Okay. Or perhaps if I get the WWE version, you're going to sleep, Bob. Is he asleep?
Yes.
Bob, tap! Oh.
Well, he took his arm.
Sorry, he's unarmed. Okay. He doesn't believe in the Second Amendment. He wants to stay unarmed. Actually, he doesn't want to stay unarmed because he was put in this position. All right, so we have to deal with that threat. So let's kind of review that. We have plenty of other videos. In fact, we've been meaning to post some of them for this particular very important level 1 defense, which is headlock from the side. So we're imagining, as in most situations, that this person is right-handed, so they're reaching their right hand across. Now, hopefully, whoa, when they did that, I was early, right? I saw that thing coming, and I could stop them here. We're going beyond that. Somehow, I was asleep, and now this attack is literally on here. And the threat is not the hands reaching. The hands have already reached, and now they're around my throat. The first thing I have to do is to attack his attack, so I have to attack his hands. So I'm going to bring my arms way up. I'm going to use my body weight and kind of drive down and explosively create some hooks right here on top of his hands and wrist. And if you have somebody in your household, you can tell them, say, look, I want you to reach around and grab my shoulder and hold on as tight as you can. I want you to go up high, and you could do this even slow. I want you to create a hook right here, get right here at the thumb, and then drive your elbow down, boom, and you'll see how easy it is to use leverage like a can opener, right? Boom, drive the elbow down. It created this much space, but that's enough for now, okay? So there's two things. Number one, explosive. One side, the side where the hand is, explosive and leverage. Boom, driving elbows down. If I didn't do it well on the explosive, I'll drive it in. But I am going to get that hand to turn like this, okay? Here. Now the second thing I want to do is make sure that my head is turned, because I'm going to get out of this grip here. But as you can see, there's a lot of room going here, this direction, but not a lot this direction. This is pretty close. So I grab right here and I turn here. Now watch this. I'm going to do the exact same movement that we did before with the step and the hip, right? I'm going to step. Now remember, his arm is over here. So I'm literally going to be going out the back door of his arm and his body. I'm going to be going out that way. I explosively got here, turned my head, I step, and then remember the hips collapse here, drive this foot way back, and this is definitely something that would be great to have a partner, and we'll cover this next week a little bit. But what this does is takes their arm, which is really strong in here, but it turns it this way. And they just simply cannot deal with that very well. Because I have it here, here's his arm, and I literally turn it as I go, okay? So here comes this right-handed attack. Oh my gosh, my hands come up strong, and I pluck with my hooks and drive it down. Notice I'm not leaning forward. I'm not doing this and turning in. I'm staying right where I am for that very moment, right? Good, turn here. Your chin should be towards that shoulder. Good. From here, let's do that step pivot with the opposite side foot. Step, turn, big hip movement. Good. This will put me outside. Now, if he did not have my neck, I would be right here. And so that's where I end up. I literally end up, here's the attacker. He reaches it, oh my gosh, boom. And I end up right here in this seat belt, which is, for us, this is Grand Central Station. Command now. Boom. I can throw a lot of strikes here. I can control this space, and that's very important. All right. So hopefully I'm preemptive, Bob. Oh my gosh, I get here. Oh, here. Get the hell out of me. That's what I'm looking to do. However, oh my gosh, I wasn't that fast. Boom, big pluck here. Step, turn, and end up in the seatbelt over here. This way. Okay. For the view that you're coming from. All right, so let's do a couple of those. So here comes the attack, right-handed. Whoa, big pluck, go. Make sure your head is turned. Take the right foot, step forward, big hip motion, and step back. Again, remember, it's step, collapse the hips, big hip motion. I want to actually do that all in one step, but those are the little steps. Good, I'm right here. Oh no, oh my gosh. Around my neck, hands are over here. Big pluck, turn the head, step, turn, face him. Now let's throw some of those strikes. Go. There, do that again. Make space, check the surroundings. What am I looking for? Other people, friends. Exits. Weapons, something to hit him with. Excellent, good. All right, how we going on time?
15. I don't know how long you're going.
Okay. Now, in the midst of this, this is not always a static situation. In other words, like if he grabs here, he's going to stay here forever. If this is not working, a lot of times they change it to here. Anytime this arm is shoulder high, whoa, you're going to have the structure to keep it away from your body. But if it's here, if it goes past the shoulder, your immediate, I want it to be like a mousetrap. If I feel that shoulder, if I feel them over my shoulder, I want it to be like a mousetrap. I am out the back door. Because remember, the energy, this right here, works for you. If you wait till they get the grip in, it's a lot harder. But man, boom, right there, that's a perfect time because they're still even moving here. So he reaches, go ahead, Bob. Bob, come on. Bob.
He's
Bob.
shy. Did you tell him he was going to be on video?
He doesn't want to do it. But whoa, whoa, he's here. Turn it. Good. All right. Let's review. We reviewed hooks. Standard hook. Listen, you watch YouTube videos, you'll find 100 versions of straight punches and hooks. The bottom line is you want to create damage. So in the early days, find out what works for you and create damage. Now, a lot of what we were doing today, of course, is just using the knuckles, but it doesn't have to be knuckles. I could totally open up this hand and be striking here. That's actually preferred. Even my hooks, driving this part right here. So practice those. The best thing is to get a camera and just watch yourself. Yes, it's embarrassing. Yes, you're gonna go, oh, I'm terrible at this. I just don't.
Remember, y'all just watched me look ridiculous, so come on.
That's true. And everybody says, if Sid can, no. No, the bottom line is, hey, we're all just getting better, getting a little bit better every day. Remember, straights, about driving all the way, driving the rotation forward. Hooks, it's side to side. As time goes on, not only do I do this, but I step into it. Ooh, yeah. Step into it. Same with my straights. Driving into it. We call those advancing. So, then, being attempt control from behind or being controlled from behind, always get the largest margin of success that you have. The bladed pinky side over here. Remember, this is what I'm trying to avoid. The hands getting together. So I stop it here. I stop, then control with this opposite side hand. Whoa, whoa, here. And then if I have the space here, I'm going to step. I'm going to turn in and maintain that space if necessary with my fence, arm stop, seat belt. Remember, arm stop being this, seat belt being this. And just continue to make space. If that space, if I wasn't early enough and it's not outside here, but it's inside here, then the likelihood is that I'm just going to get the grip on that arm, go out the back door and end up in the seat belt and finish from there. Great job, guys. Thank you, Sid. A lot of
Thank you
fun.
for having me, Darren. I'm not going crazy or anything. Second side.
See you guys.
Wait, no! What are you doing?
No. Oh, whew.
Oh my God.
That was close.
That was
close.
Oh.
That'd be much worse than the coronavirus. Shoulders back and
Get out! Virtual hugs, people!
Love, love.